What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, it's local Lamb here, or Liam, Lamb, whatever you want to call me, along with my co-host over here.
I'm Kyler. You can call me Wizard, Pimp Wizard. It's my streaming name. But this isn't for streaming per se.
No, no, not today. Today we got something a little bit different. We've decided it's kind of been something that we've been working on for a while, low key. Um, we're gonna do a little sports podcast. It's episode one of Name to Be Determined podcast. And
Yeah, we are not very creative in the naming yet, but it'll come.
yeah, everything else we've got it down to an almost science. But the name department, if any of y'all have any suggestions, absolutely feel free to drop them in the comments. We just cannot think of a name for to save us. But without a name, with a name, doesn't really matter. We've still got some MLB spring training action that we want to preview today. Which game you want to start with?
Let's look. There is a ton of games today.
I know the schedule is jam packed. I can't wait for
Uh,
this to not be spring training, so there's some nationally televised jam packed schedules.
yeah, let's see.
Um,
Well, we'll start off with the first one that I see, and that's the Pirates and the Braves.
I dig that. As a Pirates fan, how do you feel about it? Just as a fan.
Um, I'm a I'm a low key Pirates fan. Baseball isn't really my sport, but I'm from close to the Pittsburgh area, so Pittsburgh teams are my teams. Um, I did see that they went off the other day on your Orioles, though.
Yeah.
Scored a whopping, what was it, 13 runs, 13, 15, something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know what the final was. I just know you sent me a score notification. It was like 13-1. I think they had
Yeah.
just scored to make it 13-1. So yeah, no. Needless to say, that's funny that you mentioned that game because Christian and I were talking last night. By the way, those of you who don't know, Christian is another one of our four planned co-hosts, along with one of
Yeah.
Kyler's good buddies, Michael, um, for the show. But him and I were talking last night. The Orioles have made the playoffs 14 times in their 116 seasons, dude.
Oh,
116 seasons, 14 playoff appearances.
that's a little rough.
Last one being in 16, and before that, only one other playoff appearance before 97, and that was 2 years prior to 16. So, yeah, needless to say, I said all that just to say your Pirates absolutely crushed us.
Yeah. I'm not sure the Pirates statistics like that, but
I
I do know that whenever they do make the playoffs, PNC Park gets packed because Pittsburgh fans are loyal.
I I agree with that. They're the one team out of Pittsburgh if I had to pick that I like the most. And
I
I,
expected.
I've never really known who's all's on the team because they've never really had many big name players other than
Yeah.
McCutcheon. Um, that Starling Marte.
Yeah. We had Garrett Cole for a little while.
That's true. That dude. I fell in love with Garrett Cole in Pittsburgh, man.
We tend to trade prospects or top players for farm picks. I don't know what their thought is, but they just don't like to keep big names around, apparently.
I guess not. Uh,
Most Pittsburgh fans hate Bob Nutting, our owner, too.
I've heard that once or twice.
Yeah. He's just a businessman. He doesn't care how the team does because he still makes money because he knows how loyal Pittsburgh fans are, that they're still going to show up. They're still going to buy merchandise.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care. And
No,
until he
yeah.
starts losing money, he's
That's
going to keep doing his thing.
I think that's why I sympathize with you and the Pirates is because Angelos and the whole Angelos family, same way.
Yeah.
Same way. Orioles fans, dude, I've been an Orioles fan since I was born. I was the one who played baseball for 14 years. 14, 15. It was somewhere around there, but um, yeah. Needless to say, it's weird that I played for that long, and I don't like watching baseball. I have gotten back into it more, but um,
I enjoyed
now I
watching the
went up.
playoffs last season. That's pretty much the most baseball that I've watched probably my entire life in one season was playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's what's been getting me back into it. The playoffs the last couple years, and the whole Astros cheating scandal also brought me back into it a little bit. But anyway, if you want to get back to this game, I have the lineups pulled up as well. It's kind of crazy to
Okay.
me that the Braves are going with a whole bunch of like actual starters. I'm not sure if any of these people start for the Pirates though, but the Braves have Acuna batting first with Albies, Freeman, and Ozuna following. So I mean, right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and give those four players at least 3 runs for the game. At least 3 runs.
Between the four of them.
But yeah, between Acuna, Albies, Freeman, and Ozuna.
Okay, I like it. Um,
Only because I don't even know who the pitcher is for Pittsburgh. Brault. I'm not sure if you know if that name means anything to you. I know the
uh,
Braves.
no.
The Braves actually are using Smiley, who is an ex-Oriole. Interesting. I didn't
Okay.
know he went there. Yeah, I'm starting to think the Braves are gonna win this one, dude. That like I'm looking at this lineup and it could legitimately be a National League All Stars lineup.
Oh yeah, I would give it to the Braves as well.
Uh,
I I would give most games that opponents play the Pirates to the opponents.
I agree. I mean, spring training has been their records are similar. That's the only
Yeah,
reason. That's the
they've
only
been
thing that's
they've
throwing
been
me
doing
off.
okay during spring training, but it is spring training, so.
That's also true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another game.
All right. Oh, we got the Orioles and the Twins.
The Orioles and the Twins.
Right off the bat, Orioles are gonna lose. Just gonna say it. Um, no, no, I don't want to know how to watch it.
Both have a lot of team pride today.
Oh yeah. Well, if you if you count our hockey, we definitely do.
Yes, that is true.
Baseball, not so much.
And you listeners, you come to find out that Liam and I all have rivalry teams.
It's
Our favorite teams are all rivals, so
yeah. Uh,
it could get interesting, could get a little heated now and then, but
it always gets heated. It's just a matter of when.
yeah.
Pens Caps games, those nights always get interesting. One of us at the end of the night is pissed off, peeved
And
off
while
at the
the other
other.
one is just
Yeah,
texting, just shitting on the other.
yeah. It
Yeah.
doesn't end in friendly conversation. Let's put it that way. um,
As far as baseball, I'm gonna kind of be learning as I go because I don't really know a ton about baseball. I was
Yeah.
awful at baseball as a child. I played like 2 seasons maybe, and maybe hit the ball 3 times.
Hey, that's more
But
than once. I'll tell you this, I was not a hitter. My like high
yeah,
school when it counted, I was not a hitter. I also high school is when I got injured halfway through, but um, not everybody's a hitter is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah.
it's all good.
So I also don't know a ton of the players that unless they're big superstar
Hey,
players.
you know, that's where I'm with you though.
So yeah, we're gonna be kind of learning as we go.
Yeah,
Michael, he's pretty big into baseball, so he
yeah. He'll be our
knows
he'll be our
stuff.
Gandhi through baseball.
Yep.
Um,
As
yeah,
far as some other sports that we'll cover a good bit of NHL, some NCAA basketball, some NBA, some
yeah.
NASCAR too.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kyler and Michael just recently converted me over to NASCAR, so
This
definitely
is
expect
true.
a little bit of NASCAR in here.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
we like to throw around a good bit of sports.
yeah,
Um,
UFC.
I'm really yeah,
Sometimes
UFC for sure.
even
I'm really the only wrestling fan in here, so I don't know exactly how much we'll be talking about
yeah.
wrestling
Oh, we'll talk about
unless
it for sure. I
my
mean,
own
that's the
segment
best way for
on
us
it.
to learn that don't know about it.
Yes, this is
So,
true.
um,
Eventually we also plan on having cameras, but for now you get to stare at our Discord screen.
yeah. Well, I have a camera. I'm just
Yeah.
choosing to be nice and not put
Yes.
the others to
You can
shame
throw
with
it
my
over if you
beautiful
want it.
face. It's okay. No, I don't think the world is ready for that. I also have to. I'd also have to go get it out of wherever I packed it and set it back up with my computer. And that's just, yeah, it's all good.
Makes sense.
You'll see me one day, guys. But yeah. So basically, what we got for you in the MLB is our teams are gonna lose. Um, but it's spring training, and there's actually plenty of other good games out there. I was just looking at the schedule, and Cardinals play the Mets, which in a regular season I'd be all over that game. I I don't know much about them and their lineups today, but when I did watch baseball, mostly playoff baseball, whenever the Mets and the Cardinals were involved in a game, I loved watching it. Old David Wright or Pujols. Oh my God, bro! Watching Pujols in the playoffs with the Cardinals, amazing. Um, I think other than that, the Dodgers and the Reds
Yeah.
also potentially a good game. Ooh, speaking of the Astros scandal, the Nationals and the Astros are on the
Yeah,
schedule
that's the
today.
game that I was just looking at too.
That's one that's interesting. If that one was televised, I'd sit down.
Yeah, I'd definitely watch that.
Yeah, you know I, you know what I was thinking. We should sometimes. I know that with all the broadcasting rules and whatnot, we can't sit here and show a game. But I feel like we could do a watch along podcast recording to some games, like big games.
That would be pretty dope.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would
So
enjoy that.
yeah, expect some of that in the future. Once we get into the swing of things. Um, yeah, because that game would be an absolute incredible watch along in a regular season. Ooh. I actually know most of the players on both of those teams just from watching the playoffs the last couple of years. Juan Soto in the World Series his rookie year. Jesus. Oh, they got Josh Bell, bro. I did not know that. Josh Bell and Josh Harrison.
Oh damn.
And you know who Kyle Schwarber is?
Um, I don't think so.
He played for the Cubs the year they won their World Series. Actually, I think he was a rookie that year, and he came back for the playoffs, and like he helped them in some way. And I don't know. Then he was just basically kind of a but like he had his moments where he was really good. He's on the Nationals now. Didn't know that. Thought I knew. Thought I knew more.
Is there any other games that you're looking at? Should we move to the NHL?
Um, yeah, all the other games seem to be tomorrow. I think I've reached the end of the schedule, so NHL's fine with me.
All right,
I
on to NHL.
I've honestly
Let's
been
start
waiting
off
for
with
this.
the 6 o'clock game. The 6 o'clock game is the Rangers and Penguins. Penguins coming off of a 5-1 win the other night.
That's that
There,
was a pretty good win.
yeah, it was a solid win. I was out doing stuff with my family, so I didn't get to really watch most of the game. Kept up with it though. Um,
I,
the only problem that I have with the Penguins team this year, the big problem is they don't they're a little too unselfish. They tend to look for passes and give up open shots.
yeah,
And the defense is hit or miss.
yeah. I agree with that. Um, for the most part, but I can't really fully agree with it just because I haven't watched more than the Caps Pens games. So, and in those games, they weren't favorable outcomes for myself. So,
This is true.
I can't say that I was paying too much attention to their defense or their goalies. However, they were all very close games. Every single one of them, I think, went into overtime.
You cut out there. I didn't get to hear what you said.
Oh, all I said was they were all very close games for the most part. So, the goaltending, as I'm looking at it now, I mean, 9-7, probably not what you want for your starting goaltender.
Yeah.
16 game or more than 16 games into the season, considering he's split time with DeSmith. Now, DeSmith, on the other hand, I feel like personally he should be starting. I haven't
That's
watched
iffy.
much
Jari's been playing pretty well these past few games.
as he got it, so he's pulled it
He's been
together.
picking it up. I blame a lot of the goals that he gives up on the defense. I blame it on bad defense. A lot of them aren't his fault. He'll give up a couple rebounds every now and then, but for the most part, I would say that he deserves the starting position. I like them
Fair enough.
both, but I don't know. I guess it just depends. I don't have a problem with either of them. I really think that the defense needs work on, though. That's
Fair enough.
my biggest takeaway from this team so far.
Fair enough.
And we tend to take a lot of games into overtime. Therefore, we give, even if we win, we give the opponent 1 point towards the season, which
That's
is
not
not
really
good this
helpful.
season. It's not good this season,
Yeah.
especially since it's all conference games.
Yeah, I was gonna make that point that especially this season, it's probably the worst season to take games into overtime. With the shortened
Yeah.
season, you can't afford to be giving up points. Not only that, but you lose a point, don't you? You basically and essentially lose a point because you give up a point.
Yeah, you could say that. You still get
It's
your 2 points for the win,
you
but
yeah, you
yeah,
still get your points, but you it's
but you also give them a point,
it's just not a
which
satisfying win, in
it's
my
really
opinion.
not. Unless it's against the Capitals, then any win is a good win.
Um, honestly, I'll take the point in those overtime losses.
Dude, honestly, and we have given you the points.
I know,
And
which
whenever we lose in regulation. And I'm like, I think I texted you that one game. I was like, oh man, because we started to come back. I was like, if we're gonna lose, please lose in overtime.
yep,
And we lost regulation.
yep. I'll never forget. Was it last season or was it the first season? Um, for legal purposes, I legally gamble. This is just a side story. Um, as we're talking about wins and losses versus caps and pens, for the longest time, and also want to make it clear that I think Sidney Crosby is better than Ovechkin. I'm not a biased Caps fan. I'm not a biased sports fan. I tend to look at everything with a open mind, open eye, and judge based solely on performance and not who I like better. But there was a period in time where I would judge based on who I liked better. And every single time I bet on the Penguins or the Caps, they lost. Every time. Without fail. To the point where I started screwing with him, telling him that I was just going to bet on the Pens every time they played the Caps.
He
Now,
actually told me that not too long ago, and I told him he wouldn't drop hundo on the Pens, and he
told him I
didn't do
wouldn't.
it, and the Pens ended up winning.
I I should have done it because whatever I dropped a hundo on, instead of that failed me. So I should have done that.
Yeah.
I know how to when I take L's, I take them with grace, and that was an L, big L.
Um, One of my favorite players to watch this season is Kasperi Kapanen. Well, for the Penguins, is Kasperi Kapanen. He's been he's been pretty electric on whatever line that we throw him on. So
Uh,
I like having him on the team. He I think he has 6 points in the last 8 games.
that's not bad. I haven't seen
Yeah,
much of him, so
he's
is,
doing pretty solid.
is he younger?
He was traded. Well, actually, we drafted him, and then we traded him to Toronto, maybe.
Mm.
I think Toronto. I
Yeah,
could be
you
wrong. I
did
might be wrong. I don't know.
because now I do know who you're talking about. I just haven't seen him
Yeah,
play this season.
yeah. And he is back
Well,
for us.
I guess that's a nice addition. Um, speaking of nice additions, Zdeno Chara for the Caps.
That's just it's a weird sight to see, if I
I
must say.
I will say I was so upset that there was no fans in Boston. I mean, I know it's it's nothing we can control, but for his return to Boston because I would have loved to see what that place would have been like.
Yeah, I love that tribute video. I did see that.
Yeah,
That was dope. Even as somebody who hates the Bruins and and the Caps, I would say that I hate the Bruins more than I hate the Caps, to tell you the truth.
I
But as
thank
somebody
you.
who hates both teams, I really enjoyed that tribute. That was a nice tribute.
See, you can hate teams, but just certain players,
Yeah, I
regardless of the
respect
team.
certain players.
Yeah, uh, it's like absolutely, and no, that doesn't just extend to players. I mean, Philly absolutely can't stand Philly. Gritty,
But
gritty, we stand.
yeah,
Gritty, we
we
stand. We
love
are
Gritty.
a gritty super stand.
That
I,
is true. At least me, you, and Michael. I'm not sure
I,
Christian stance, but
I think we've gotten him on board with gritty at this point. I don't
all
see how he
right,
can't be. I don't see how anybody can be against gritty.
that's true.
I don't care who you support. If you don't support gritty, then you just get
You're a
out of here.
dweeb.
Yeah, get
If
out of here.
you don't think that Gritty is the best mascot in the NHL, then your opinion
It's
is irrelevant to me.
it's not even close.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody better.
I'm trying right now.
Couldn't tell you.
Not even to be biased. I just like Eagles. Slapshot's pretty dope, but he's still not close in comparison.
Yeah.
I even like your guys' Penguin, and he's not even that cool. That's just because penguins are my favorite animal.
I like penguins too.
But um,
All
anyway,
right,
that
let's
whole
move on to
transition to
another game.
Chara was I was trying to swing on over to the next nationally televised game, which happens to be the Caps Devils. Um, I don't even know what to say about this. Um, I said all I could earlier when off camera. I'm just gonna or off air. Just gonna bring it back. The Capitals as over as what ESPN has the consensus line right now, minus 185. They're not good when they're favored by minus 150 or more. And that's not even because of my value. Like, I personally don't like to take anything minus 150 or more. But watching the Caps almost every day, I can't watch them every time they play because I'm just not available to watch them sometimes. But they're just not good when they're heavy favorites. I don't know what it is. I don't know if somehow they know they're heavy favorites and it gets to their head or what it is, but they cannot play as favorites.
Y'all have such a solid team too.
So I know. I don't understand. Like even down to our third lines.
Yeah, you guys have a very solid
It's
team. I I hate you guys for having Carl Hagelin. I miss Carl Hagelin so much.
he's one of my
Dude was
favorite
a
additions.
hustler.
He's not the best player on the team by far. He's will never be the best player on any team he goes to, unless it's the worst team in the league.
But he's a
Even
hustler,
then,
and he did solid for the Penguins during that cup run. That whole HBK line, Ha- Hagelin,
yep.
Benino, Kessel, that was a solid line.
That's when I first started really like kind of following Hagelin. I mean like I knew who he was when he was on the Rangers before, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He went from yeah, that's right. He went from New York to Pittsburgh and then um he will he's a hard ass worker.
Yes, and
He
he's very fast.
yeah,
He's one of the fastest on the ice. You can he's cleared a lot of icings.
dude, I've watched plays where I that's that's funny you say icings because I've watched plays where I'm like, all right, fuck, an icing. My bad, pardon my French. I'm like, all right, an icing, great. And then all of a sudden, Carl Hagelin's coming down the ice looking like he's got shot out of a cannon, and there's no icing.
Yeah.
And nine,
So, you guys still have Vanacek out, right?
in goal, yeah,
Yeah. So you have
yeah.
Vanacek out. Tom Wilson suspended for 7 games.
Oh, Vanacek out? No, I don't think he's out.
He's been sitting, hasn't he?
No, he started last game. He just
Oh.
got pulled because we suck and we gave up. I don't even know how many goals.
I thought he was sitting because he was hurt or something like that.
He's not on the injury report,
Hmm. Okay.
so
I thought I had seen something about that, but I've been wrong before.
yeah. Honestly, I've talked so much crap about both of them, but I would prefer the Vanacek over Samsonov. Um, even though Samsonov has a slightly better save percentage, he has not faced nearly as many shots as Vanacek, and it's only slightly better.
Literally
It's actually
one.
no. I was looking at goals against. His save percentage is still better than Samsonov's. So, I,
I'm seeing Vanacek as a .906 and Samsonov as a .907.
yeah,
So yeah, they're like right on par with each other.
yeah,
And this season, Vanacek has 19 games played compared to Samsonov's 5.
And yeah, I was gonna say, although he's got 5 L's, he's still got 23 points for us, as opposed to 7 points. No, what am I missing here? Because we have 32 points, but the record does not add up to 32.
Vanchek has 20 points, I believe,
Well, three
compared.
overtime losses,
Oh, yeah.
so 23.
And then, yeah, 7.
That's weird. I saw 32 points on whatever I was looking at last. Um, I don't know. If I was gonna give a preview for this game, I think we have to outwork their top lines with our top lines. And if we can
For
do
sure.
that, then I know that sounds super simple, but for some reason when we're heavy favorites, our top lines don't show up. And I mean, Backstrom this year, if he shows up period with anything, we're winning. Because when he gets hot, mother mother trucker gets hot.
Yeah.
And not only that, but because once it gets down to our third line, like third D, third and fourth offensive, it's we have the advantage 100%. I
Yeah.
I couldn't tell
Uh,
you two people, let alone one, on any line for New Jersey.
yeah. As far as New Jersey goes, I don't really know a whole lot about them. Um, I know a couple players, obviously PK, but
Yeah,
um,
I forgot. Oh, and Pavel.
but yeah. Other than that, I mean, I don't really know too much about them. So if
Well,
if
looking at
I
this,
were to predict the game, I would see the Caps coming away with the win.
I would honestly give us.
I don't know if I would give them the spread. I could see them only winning by 1, but
Yeah, I almost said give us a spread, but then I was looking at it again. I mean, the cap over the last 10, the Caps are averaging 2.8 to the Devils 2. So straight up, I'm 100% giving it to the Caps spread. I'm like 75% to the Devils. Um, just because I mean the Devils are 2-8 in the last 10. That's straight up. No overtime games. No overtime
yeah,
losses. Uh, it. Whew, I don't know. I might give us a spread because they're allowing 3.3 goals per game with an 886 save percentage. I know even that is still only one goal because we give
your
up 2.3.
your season series history says otherwise, though. You've won by 1 in 3 out of your 4 games, and you beat them 5-2 on February 27th.
Yeah, yeah, and they don't even seem like even in their goals against and goals for, they don't really. They tend to cover the spread a lot, I guess, with New Jersey.
Yeah,
Um, it's yeah. This game is a lot closer than it looks just by record.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd give this one Caps 3-2, maybe 2-1. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll
yeah.
meet. I
I
don't even
see
know if
them
they'll meet
winning
the
by
average.
1.
I'm feeling more strongly 2-1. Caps straight up. Devil spread under.
All
Yeah,
right.
think that wraps up that
Shall
game.
we move on to another game?
So the next televised one was that Chicago, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Tampa Bay and Detroit is on ESPN Plus as well.
Oh, that's right. That's
And then
7:30, right? Yeah.
yeah, Boston and New York Islanders is
Oh, that's another seven.
MSG Plus. Buffalo and Philly is NBC.
Oh,
One of their
I'm assuming
broadcast.
NBC like Philly, probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
Um, yeah, I mean, uh, straight ups, I give it to Boston and Philly. Um,
Definitely Philly. Um,
uh,
it's
I
hard to tell
actually,
with the Isles, dude. Sometimes they come out
I
playing
just
hard.
looked down. Boston is only minus 115. That's only a slight favorite.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um,
I
in the
still
previous matchup, the Isles won 7-2. So
see that makes me think motivation for revenge.
yeah, same here. They've
So
played 3 games this season, and New
what's
York
the
has won all 3 of them, though.
yeah yeah so okay yeah Boston.
I could see, yeah.
I know that makes no sense, and I know that I sounded super confident after you said Boston's lost all 3 games, but it just
No,
reminds me of
that's kind of favoring me towards Boston more as well.
yeah, it's motivation for revenge. It happens in every sport. It reminds me of the Pens Caps this year, how the Pens started out dominant, and then the Caps got one, and I'm pretty sure didn't the Caps get another one too?
I don't think so.
No.
I think the series is 4-1 right now.
Well, I could have was it another overtime loss then?
I think so.
Okay, that's what it was. Anyway, the point is we've played Pittsburgh close all season.
Yes.
Um, I
They're
something in my
always
heart
close
is
to
telling
me.
me Boston tonight. I hate you. I I don't hate Boston as much as you do, but
I hate Boston.
I don't like Boston in general. I don't like the Red Sox. I don't like the Patriots. Sorry, Christian.
Yeah.
I don't like the Bruins. I I
I
do
really
like
hate Brad
Marchand
Marchand.
and Pasta.
I I really hate Brad Marchand. I respect how good he is, but I cannot stand him.
I yeah, I that's we
Pasta,
differ
I don't
there,
have a problem with Pasta.
but I don't
I
know,
like
just some
Tuca too.
I don't know. I do like Tuca. I mean, I don't like him as much now. I mean, not that I don't like him as much. I just don't think. I don't know. I liked him a lot more before. What is my TV doing? It's weird. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got Boston and Philly.
Yes, sir.
Um, we
Uh,
got Washington tonight.
yeah.
I'm kind of iffy on the Penguins.
So
I think I think I myself would probably take the Rangers.
see,
Although
I
we are playing at home in front of a crowd, not a huge crowd, but that's
I was thinking about copping tickets.
and
I
that's kind of been some big motivation for us the last couple games.
yeah.
So
I think tonight leans favorites in a lot of games. I do. Um, Washington does worry me. Even though I'm taking them straight up, they worry me is
yeah,
as a huge favorite. So if anybody is listening to this thinking that they're just gonna follow the favorites, just be careful. But Preds, Hurricanes. I think this might be where I take my first underdog.
Preds and Hurricanes.
Yeah. Um,
Are the Canes the underdogs?
no, the Canes are
Oh,
just
really?
yeah, the Canes are just minus 210 favorites. I'm
Hmm.
not necessarily now when I say I would take the Predators, I'm not necessarily saying that they're gonna win. I just with the value there, I think that they have the best potential out of any underdog to win so far tonight. And even though the Canes are on some massive tear, they could be playing into some sort of trap here. Because
Yeah. Um,
I believe they're hot right now. Um,
let's check.
that's what I'm doing too.
I myself, I think I would probably take the Canes. Yeah. No, you are wrong about the Preds. They are at 5-5 in their last 10 and on a one-game win streak,
oh
whereas
no, I
the
was saying the
Canes are
Canes were
seven
hot
and
right now.
three. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I know the Preds are not hot right now. I know that.
yeah.
Um, but they are. Hold on. I'm gonna look at the
The
full
Canes have
team
covered the
schedule for both of
spread
them.
in both matchups that they've had.
See,
Both games have ended 4-2.
but most of the time, following a three-game skid and a win, I don't know. It's tough. Actually, they don't win back to back much at all. One back to back there, there. Actually, no. What am I on? No, no. I like them being hot here. I think
Yeah,
that.
I think I would take the Canes.
Oh no, I'm talking about. I would take. I'm still thinking Preds. Only reason is that they've only not won back games twice, and the second time is actually right now with oh no it's not. They've just barely fucking lost to Florida. So I don't know. I feel like this game, there's just more value in the Preds. So if I were to pick this game, which I'm probably not, I don't see myself actually playing this game as a personal
Yeah.
play. Most of these picks, quote unquote, they're just leans. It's not even really anything solid. It's just something in it has better value than the other one. And I see better value in the Preds, although I do think the Canes will win.
I respect it. Yeah, I mean, just me myself, based off of trends, and I'm not, I haven't been huge on Nashville this year. They're, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I myself would go with Carolina.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe a
also,
little bit biased because I've been rocking with Carolina ever since they knocked you guys out of the playoffs a couple years.
yeah,
Um,
I'm not real fond of that one.
So I could have a little bit of bias in me whenever it comes to Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like really it could go either way, so that's just why I'm seeing more value in the Preds.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I don't know. It'll go
I'm
either
not
way.
really
I'm
interested
not gonna
in this
personally play
Florida
it, so
and
I'm not
Columbus
gonna.
game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overthink it. Um,
Winnipeg and Toronto,
I'm
Tampa and Detroit, and then Chicago and Dallas.
I'm also disappointed in the Blue Jackets this year. I mean, they're playing right around 500.
Yeah, they're like I think fifth in there.
points wise,
conference.
they have more points. They have enough points to where it could be balanced out to be above 500. Um, like had those 5 games, 5 overtime losses gone either way, they could have been above 500. So this game is another toss up to me. I still think tonight is a really big favorite night. I mean, the Panthers 15-5-4 against the 10-11-5 Blue Jackets.
Yeah. This game doesn't really interest me too much, but yeah, I would probably take the Panthers as well.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really
Mhm.
have any much of an interest to me either. I just wanted to give a lean for it.
Yeah.
But
Columbus is just they're not really it this year.
yeah, and mainly just to talk about how disappointed I am in Columbus this year.
Yeah.
But this one I earlier off air I definitely think I said the Bruins Islanders based off record alone would be the best game. I'm gonna retract that statement, and based off record alone, I think Jets Maple Leafs is gonna be the best game tonight. Uh, both teams are kind of solid. I want to look at their previous 5.
Um, the last 10, they're both 7-3.
Oh my, yeah. Let's
This
see.
is their second meeting tonight. Toronto came away with a 3-1 dub. I'm surprised it wasn't more high scoring than that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at their team stats. Um, Toronto is not as disciplined as Winnipeg. They got way more penalty, way more penalty minutes and power play goals. Well, not way more power play goals against, but they have more power play goals against. And that could be a factor considering the fact that they have 29 more penalty minutes than Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, this will I think this will be a pretty good game.
I think this one
I
is
would
my underdog.
probably lean more Toronto, but to tell you the truth, I'd like to see the Jets win.
I see. I like Austin Matthews. I don't mind Toronto, but I there's just this thing with me and the Jets, and I can't explain it. It's they do me so good every time they're underdogs, and I think I'm just superstitious. But also, if you go past the power play goals or power play percentage and goals against, um, they've also given up 2 shorthanded goals to Winnipeg 0 given up, which not a huge difference, but they still give up shorthanded goals, whereas Winnipeg does not. And they don't score shorthanded goals, whereas Winnipeg at least has a shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
So
Toronto's defense just isn't very great. Their offense is
amazing,
tough,
but
but their defense, they tend to give up a good bit of goals if a team gets hot.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I think tonight I would lean more Toronto, but like I said, I'd honestly like to see the Jets win.
I yeah, tonight I'm definitely fading you. I want to see the Jets win. I'm also going with the Jets. Uh, this one's purely superstition with the Jets being underdogs. I love them as underdogs. I don't think there's many games where they're really true underdogs either. I think that most of the games they play, for the most part, are evenly matched. Um, I don't know. That's just my gut feeling for tonight in this game.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's 2 more games after that.
Yeah,
And
we got Tampa Bay and Detroit, and then Chicago and Dallas.
let me go ahead and hop into the surprising. I'm not even going to do too much. I don't know what you're feeling about it, but value wise, lean Detroit.
Mm,
Tampa Bay is going
No,
to win.
I
No.
would take Tampa Bay.
Oh, I'm saying Tampa Bay is going to win, but value wise, I mean, they do not. Unless you're betting on Tampa Bay regulation, I just. Uh, Tampa Bay comes out with the W easily. I honestly would.
Yeah, I don't see that being too much of a game. I could be wrong.
Value in Tampa Bay if you want to do something with Tampa Bay. Value in the spread. A 17-4 team versus a 7-16 team. I could easily win by 2 or more. That's mine for that. Tampa Bay walks out of there, skates out of there with a dub. Now the
Well,
surprise
Pirates up 3-0.
in my eyes. Are they really?
Yeah,
Nice. That nice.
we'll see how long that lasts. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta have to say for that game, though.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm more interested in the Blackhawks and
all right, this Chicago Dallas game.
yeah, because this is another one of those ones off air where I was talking about how Chicago surprised me this year. In the beginning of the season, watching Chicago, uh, honestly, they looked awful.
Yeah,
Like straight up, I don't know what it was with them. It had to have been the shortened off
they
season
haven't
or
really been much the past couple years, though.
that's yeah.
They haven't been the Chicago dynasty that they were,
Yeah,
say, 5 years ago, 8 years ago,
maybe
however
it's
long it's
just
been
now
since
hitting me
they
that they're not the
went on their
same.
big cup run.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they still have
A lot of
solid
the
players.
not the same, but a lot of good pieces.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean Patrick Kane is still absolutely killing it.
well, yeah,
Um,
they still have
they have Taves.
yeah.
He's although he
I think he's kind of fallen
actually
off. I don't
he's
really hear
out.
about him
He
much.
hasn't played any this season, from what I'm seeing.
Uh, I know
Yeah.
tonight is a bad night to be Dallas because Ben Bishop is on IR, Tyler Seguin is on IR, Radulov is on IR, Klingberg is day to day. Um,
Yeah, you're leaning me more towards Chicago
uh,
every time you speak.
I'm leaning myself towards Chicago. First off, I was leaning myself towards them because the Chicago and the Jets underdogs of the day because Ben Bishop gone, Seguin gone, Radulov gone, Klingberg most likely not going to play if he's day to day as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Rupe Hintz, I'm not sure who that is, but the name actually also sounds familiar. And he was listed as day to day yesterday, so he's probably gone. They're down 5 players, whereas Chicago is down 3, and none of them are the goalie. So
Yeah.
do with that what you will, but every single thing I look at is just leaning me more towards Chicago.
Yeah. And the previous two matchups of the season, Chicago has won 2-1. So they could put some more points on the board tonight.
Oh, and uh, Klingberg is their leading assister as well. So him being
Yeah.
out, they don't really have much offense, I guess. I mean, well, Pavelski, but I mean Pavelski is mainly their only other source of offense. So if he doesn't get going tonight, Ah, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. I'm leaning with Chicago tonight.
I agree. I definitely
Uh,
agree.
shall we move on to some college basketball?
Yes, sir.
There's only one top 25 game tonight. It's Gonzaga playing BYU.
Yeah, but I'm eye on a couple other games as well. Um, Duke and Boston College is one of them.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that as well.
Just because of the whole wow of Duke this year. I mean,
Yeah, they're
Boston
starting to
College
pick
isn't
it
a
up a
good
little bit.
team, but
They got although they're like on their way back out the door for the tournament, they have to. I'm pretty sure they have to win.
they have to win
The,
out.
yeah, they have to win the ACC tournament in order to make it. I'm pretty sure
Which honestly, I mean, the ACC this year,
is
it's
not
it's
very
not the
good.
powerhouse that I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not
I thought,
the normal ACC.
yeah, I thought this year we'd maybe see Notre Dame, Duke, Miami, all top 25, as well as the teams that are already in the top 25. I mean, I think they do. They're there pretty much every year. Um, Virginia. Um, hold up. I got to pull up the rankings actually. Actually, what I'm more interested in, I might pull up the bracketology if you want to start talking a little about that, since there's not that many um,
Yeah, I'm down
games
with
on.
that.
Uh, Florida State. I mean, they're kind of
If you'll
falling a
allow
little
me
bit.
run to the restroom real fast, you
Yeah,
can kind of talk to yourself real fast, but I'll be
yeah.
back in like
I'll use this
two
time
minutes.
to plug Lamb's Locks. Um, if you guys are kind of enjoying what we're doing here, I do go more in depth when I research my personal plays, as well as we're gonna start throwing out some um, free collab plays that we do as a group on there. I don't really I like to do a VIP package, um, but I know that I'm not gonna start charging people for picks because um, one it's gambling and you're already charging yourself to gamble, but I do appreciate tips for if like we go on an incredible run or something, you know. But I mean, it's not necessary. Just helps keep the channel going. Well, I guess it'll help support and start the channel in this case, but it keeps my account going on Twitter, this and that, and just kind of helps me launch a bunch of projects forward. Actually,
Sorry
so
about that. I was
all
holding that
good,
in for a while. I couldn't do it any longer.
all good. I plugged my Twitter, gave a
Oh
little
yeah.
spiel, just tried to fill the time. Um, and now back to regularly scheduled programming. Um,
Although Lamb's Locks kind of fits into it.
oh yeah, it does. Uh, what? Where was I on the rankings, and what was I looking for? Oh yeah. Um, I was trying to find the other ACC team, Virginia Tech. There they are. Yeah, there's three ACC teams. I, dude, that's shocking. I thought, if anything, the ACC and the Big 12 would be the top two conferences, especially at the beginning of the year, because I felt like Miami was kind of getting hot. I feel like at one point Miami was ranked too, weren't they?
I'm not entirely sure.
I could be wrong. Could be way wrong. And they could have only been ranked on like a coach's poll or one of the other polls, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, oh, maybe it was Clemson. Clemson fell off. Clemson was doing all right in the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden, they're just gone, disappeared. They're still receiving votes, but it's just
So the projected one seeds right now are Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor, and Illinois. I like Baylor and Gonzaga.
I
Michigan, yeah, I guess you could give them a one seed, but Illinois,
see. I
I don't
was
know.
gonna say the
I guess you
opposite.
can't argue that Illinois literally mud stomped Michigan by 30 points not too long ago.
I was gonna say I agree with Illinois more than Michigan. I just I don't know. I feel like Michigan hasn't done much to deserve that top seed.
I agree. I agree.
I I feel like there's at least one other team that you could look at that's outside of the top five that could be a one seed. I don't know who it is, or maybe it's
The
even the fifth
projected
team.
two seeds are Ohio State, Alabama, Iowa, and Houston. Which
I
I haven't really seen much of Houston at all this season, so
the one thing I did see of Houston was their buzzer beater yesterday, and that was nuts. Or no, it was Sunday. That was it
yeah.
was. I think Memphis went up with like 2 3 seconds to go or something, and then Houston inbounded it and just chucked it up from half court, and it's one of the first buzzer beaters I've seen from half court go in a while. I mean, other than if you saw the highlights of Steph Curry and Dame Lillard just pulling up from half court in the All Star game the other day, but those weren't necessarily buzzer beaters.
Yeah. Um, I like honestly, I like Iowa. They,
Oh, I love Iowa.
yeah, they're not. I don't know if I would necessarily argue them to be a one seed, but as a two seed, that's not a bad place to have them.
Yeah, I agree. Um, okay.
Bama's been doing pretty solid this season. I think yeah, they could probably deserve a two seed as well.
I think Bama's probably one of my biggest surprises this season.
I would agree with that.
Especially cracking the top. Bama and actually, I think my two surprises come from the SEC. Bama and Arkansas. I mean, when you think of the
Not
SEC,
much of Arkansas this season, so
I
I
just
can't
well,
really comment too much on them.
I
But
just
they are projected a third seed.
I just know they killed so many of my bets. So that alone, plus the fact that when you think of the SEC, like I don't know about you, but I automatically think football. And
Yeah.
when I think football, SEC, and then I throw Arkansas in the mix of those two words, they're not that good. So
Yeah.
when I think basketball, Arkansas, I'm like, well, they're probably not that good. No, top 10. I mean, that's surprising. And Alabama also football. I mean, they're amazing. But normally when I watch their basketball, they're not good because they throw all of their money at the football program. And I guess they put it all together on the basketball court this year, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
But honestly, hats off to them. I hope they do a good job in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Then our
Uh,
projected third seeds are West Virginia, Villanova, Arkansas, and Kansas. Um,
yeah, I think
Honestly, the way WVU has been playing, they're hit or miss. I would be surprised to see them get a third seed.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say if we have a really good tournament, then yes, I'll say we deserve a three, depending upon who we beat. If we win and beat Baylor, I will personally push for a two seed
Yeah.
because I think that's the only way we get a two seed, and I think the only way we get a 3 seed is we still have to make it to the
By
finals.
making the finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we potentially we could get it with a semifinal loss potentially, but we would
Mm,
have to lose in the semifinals to a team
I
that's
don't
above
know.
us,
What's the Big
and
12 bracket looking like?
there's no teams above us. So other than Baylor, so it's just I don't know. I personally think we'll get a 4 seed.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
Um, oh, they have a
Um,
full projected bracket. We could do an entire episode on this later with Christian, and I think that's what I think we should put out a little special later. Drop 2 episodes on opening day. Screw it. I still never plugged my phone in.
I'm trying to find the bracket for the Big 12. Right a minute. So I just want to see where W is
Fair enough.
and who they would have to go through to even make the finals.
What'd you say? Sorry, I was turning on my pie mining.
Um, I'm looking to see who W would have to go through.
Um, what's that bracket looking like?
Well, our first game's Oklahoma State,
Mm-hmm.
and then looks like we would have to play the winner of game 4 in the semifinals, which would be Baylor and either TCU or Kansas State.
Well, looks like it's gonna be Baylor. I just don't see TCU or Kansas State. Well, Kansas State is sneaky,
I don't know. I think,
but
yeah, I
I
would.
just don't see
I
it.
see Baylor in the finals, and honestly, I could even see Oklahoma State in the finals.
I think whoever wins between us and Oklahoma State is gonna go to the finals. I could see that happening
Yeah, I'm trying to.
because
Okay, so let's see.
if you see OK State going, then
Game
if we
one
beat
is
them,
Yeah, game one is TCU and Kansas State,
what's that tomorrow?
and yeah, tomorrow at 5:30. Game
Bet
two is Oklahoma and Iowa State at 8:30. Then on Thursday, West Virginia and Oklahoma State play at 10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. on
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah. At 1:30, Baylor will face the winner of game one, which is TCU or Kansas State. At 5:30, Kansas will face the winner of game two, Oklahoma or Iowa State.
Probably
At
Oklahoma.
8:30, yeah, at 8. Although,
Iowa State's also sneaky for some weird reason.
yeah, they haven't had many wins, but they're like,
That's why I only
no,
said probably Oklahoma because
yeah,
I there's a small chance. I don't want to like advertise it, but
yeah. I wouldn't count them out, put it that way.
yeah, you're right.
Um, and then game six is Texas and Texas Tech at 8:30. So
That'll be a good
then
game.
game seven would be the semis, March 12th, which would be the winner of game three and game four.
All right. And then I'm assuming game 5 and 6 would play the other semifinal.
Yeah.
So that could be us or who?
Uh, no, we would be game 7. Game 3 winner is either West Virginia or Oklahoma State. And then game 4 is either Baylor or TCU or Kansas State.
Oh, so we would
Game
play
5,
we would play Baylor in the semis.
yeah,
Oh,
what it's looking like.
okay. So rip. So yeah, we have to beat them in the semis.
Yeah. So
Although actually, we just have to play it close because they also take quality losses into consideration. If we only have like, I don't know.
yeah. So I mean I don't see us pulling a 2 seed bid anywhere. Um,
Unless a
three
miracle happens, you're right.
seed, 3 seed potentially with a close loss to Baylor in the semis.
Yeah. And then
Unless we somehow win the championship, I don't quite see us getting a 2 seed.
I think I think 3 seed is very likely. I think if we beat Oklahoma State, I think 3 seed. Actually, I think if we beat Oklahoma State regardless, 3 seed.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just because I don't know who else you would. I don't know. I can't think of who else would replace us after we only losing to Baylor. I mean, if Baylor is the best team in the country, I mean,
I would argue that Baylor is the best team in the country.
without a question, best one-loss team in the country. Nobody's gonna
I
argue
would
that.
argue that they're the best team in the country, even though Gonzaga hasn't lost to anybody. They just don't really play a tough schedule.
I was getting there. It's we would actually. I feel like we would actually have to see Gonzaga and Baylor play to know.
Yeah,
I I do agree 100%. Every year, it's like Alabama's opening games in football, except it's every single game. But also,
yeah,
if you think about that, they do have to. I mean, they have to play conference games, right? It's not their fault their conference is ass.
yeah.
It's, I mean, you work with what you got, and their players and the coach also incredible. I mean, come tournament time, I think
They
what it
always make a deep tournament run, so
is the reason they're number one is because they're the only undefeated team, and everybody's taking into consideration how good they are in the tournament.
yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. I will almost never bet against Gonzaga in the tournament until it gets to the Final Four. Almost never.
Yeah.
And we got to go through the Michigan bracket. It's looking like. So I'm not gonna get too much into this. I was just more looking for our projected matchup in the first round of the tournament and who we would have to play after. And right now, it's looking like an easy Sweet 16. I don't want to say too easy because if Tennessee were to win and beat Georgia Tech and then we would play them, they would give us somewhat of an
I'm not
probably
worried
the,
about Tennessee.
I'm just out of the three other teams there. We're projected to play Morehead State right now as an automatic qualifier because they already won their tournament. Um, However, West Virginia winning that would put them against Tennessee or Georgia Tech. And out of those two, the only reason I was saying anything that it wouldn't be an easy win is because Tennessee is the higher seed. They're the 6th seed, so it wouldn't be. Well, they're higher seed than Georgia Tech. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I'm just I'm not really too worried about Tennessee.
I
Their offensive production isn't great.
I haven't watched too much of them, Maybe I just caught glimpses
I
of
haven't
games where
watched
they
a ton
were
of them either,
doing all right. Like they were
and that could
just,
be the case where I've seen that they haven't done very well.
yeah. I I don't know.
But to me, I really wouldn't be
I mean,
too
I wouldn't be
too
too
worried
worried,
about Tennessee.
but I also never want to take anything in the tournament for granted with us. So
Yeah, this is true.
not even just West Virginia, but like any of my teams in any playoff situation.
Yeah,
Um, however,
I think I think if we don't at least make the Elite Eight, it's kind of a busted season.
I agree. Um, looking at it, to get to the Elite Eight, we would have to play Oklahoma State for a fourth fucking time
Yeah,
because right above us is Liberty, Oklahoma State, first round matchup. Now, unless Liberty somehow pulls off an upset, because I'm not going to count out Liberty at all. They've impressed me in sport after sport this year so far. Football, them boys went off. They went absolutely off. And I'm also a little biased towards Liberty because my aunt went there, family history with it. It's pretty much the only reason I know that school exists. However, year after year, I see them constantly struggling with football, constantly struggling with basketball. Any sport I tune in to watch them at, baseball, I haven't watched them in baseball in a while, so I'm not going to comment on that. But they're not to be counted out against Oklahoma State. I don't care who they've
yeah,
played this season, they have a solid team. And 13 seed, they might be a little bit underrated. I feel like they could be a 12 or an 11. I don't know how the bracketology is going to shake out, and I don't know if automatic qualifiers are automatically put there. I couldn't tell you, but
yeah. It's going. I mean, we're still 5 days away, so
oh,
there
I know.
could be some
As I watch games
major
and
changes.
um, as I watch more games this week, I'm sure I'll have a different opinion each day.
Yeah,
But as of right now, before watching any games, just strictly based on regular season play and the small amount of teams that have already finished their tournaments, like Liberty and Morehead State and Winthrop and all these other teams with automatic qualifyings. Um, I think it's going to be a really good bracket that we're in. And not good as in like the teams are good. I mean good for us.
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
this
I
is
mean, that's
interesting to me.
pretty much all that I got.
I think the last thing I have is the last four in as of right now include Drake and Colorado State, while the first four out include Syracuse, which I thought, and St. Louis. To be honest, I think that some of these need to be switched. I, Drake, that one is iffy to me. I mean, while they started out on an amazing run, the way they finished their season was eh. And also, I didn't mean to say Colorado State. I just realized I meant to say Xavier. They're right near each other, but I feel like Syracuse and St. Louis just had better strong pushes towards the end of the season. I don't know their records, but I feel like they should have gotten some consideration. But that's my finishing point on that. On the bubble notes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I don't know how much NBA you're wanting to talk, but
there's not
whenever it comes to
NBA.
NBA,
There's not even
I
any NBA games until tomorrow.
off.
Um,
Okay, yeah,
so there's no point. Plus, Christian is the one that would be better to talk about the NBA.
yeah, true. Because I know nothing.
I I can bounce more ideas back and forth off off him with NBA just because he knows some, and then he gets my brain moving. But just trying to talk about NBA all myself, I probably won't do much of that.
Yeah, I get you.
But anyway, I think this was a pretty solid first episode.
Yeah,
Um,
I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed myself as well. I enjoyed the company, the conversation, and the caffeine that I ingested. Also, not a part of the podcast, but that helped too. Um,
As far as platforms that we're putting them out on,
uh,
we have yet to really determine all the platforms.
I
We
do
plan
know.
on making a Snapchat,
Yep.
and um, I'm sure Lamb and I will plug some clips from this podcast onto our TikTok.
100%.
Yeah.
As soon as this
Um,
video saves, I'm gonna start looking through it and trying to find the best advertising at best clips for advertising. That's where I was going with that. That's English. Um, yeah. Other than that, I think I do know you can find this on my YouTube, a local lamb, as well as probably my personal YouTube. Um, I
yeah,
always have
I will be
trouble.
posting on my personal YouTube, not my gaming account.
Um, well, I haven't even posted any gaming related items on my gaming account, so I just know that's the one logged in. So I know that'll be in there. Yeah. Other than that, you can pretty much find the link to this on any of our social media platforms. Lamb's locks that I plugged in earlier. I'll post a link there, as well as all of the Instagram accounts that I own. My personal, and then I'll leave most of these in the description as well of my videos, so you don't have to go remembering all of these.
Yes, I will be updating my link tree, so should be able to find it pretty easy if you find my link tree, which is in my gaming Instagram. It's in that bio. To There's links to both of our pages and some of my YouTube videos.
Um, yeah,
Um,
as well. I meant to add that I will be making a link tree as well, so look for that on Lamb's Locks. And other than that, I mean, thanks for tuning in. This is these will get better. This was a pretty much a rough draft, if you will.
yeah,
You you're going in. You got to give something to your teacher. So you're like, hey, let's sit down a couple hours before it's due and go at it.
yeah. And
Um,
in the future, we will have two other co-hosts to kind of,
yeah, there'll be more banter, more uh, series related segments, I guess you could call them. I couldn't really think of a better word. Separate segments, different sports. We plan on doing a highlight of the day, highlight of the week, maybe. Not sure if it's going to be a daily or weekly thing. Basically, I'm just kind of going to be going through like Twitter, YouTube, anything I can really find to find the most crazy off the wall highlights that I can bring you guys. Most of them are not even going to be from professional sports. I want to try to bring a different look, different approach to the sports world and get kind of some of the people out there that either wouldn't be seen or um, I just feel need to be seen more. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got, and I think that we're good to sign off unless you got anything else to add.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. We plan on doing these pretty often. I don't know if it'll be, it definitely won't be a daily thing.
No, no.
Maybe a little more than a weekly thing, but
I hope.
it'll just be based off of everyone's schedule and who
Yeah.
has time and stuff like that. Um, this was just our first one, so be
Hopefully,
expecting more us talking about previous games from nights before, stuff like that,
yeah, and
discussing things of that nature.
it could even be from a couple days before, just depending upon when we get the episode out.
Yeah. Um,
We will. I will say something. I will try to with the whole idea of the Snapchat is so that we can get some sort of posts out daily. If like one of us can is available to make a clip or like put together something for the page, we'll try to at least post daily. Um, I don't want y'all thinking that we're just gonna neglect y'all for a couple days, but it's just gonna be hard to try to record podcasts of this length daily. So definitely stay tuned for the Snapchat because that's going to be a big help.
yeah.
You'll want to follow that. Um, Other than that, it was great talking for y'all. Great convo. And I hope y'all comment, like, and subscribe y'all's hearts out. Peace, y'all.
Later, y'all.